Faith back there really wanted to start the applause. But thank you, everybody, for coming. I'm Amy Lay. I'm the Artistic Director of Fourth Wall Music, and we're just super happy to have you out today. We are sharing a program that is a Cornerstone concert. This is a series that I hope will continue in future Fourth Wall Music seasons that features music that is the musician's choice, a full program of music that they are very passionate about. So, as a cornerstone is that strong foundation that brings together two walls in a building. We hope that this program, where you're going to be immersed in beautiful woodwind, full pieces of gorgeous music, will kind of bring together the listeners and the musicians, and we'll all have this wonderful connecting experience together. So we're here because of the help of our wonderful donors and generous supporters. So I'd like to say thank you to the Morris and Beverly Baker Foundation, the Ontario Arts Council, the Trillium Foundation, the City of Windsor, and Alexis Everett Wells with Asante Wealth Management. And you can go to our website, fourthwallmusic.com, for a full list of our donors, as well as to see the bios of these fantastic performers who will be sharing music with you today. So I'm going to turn it over for the rest of the program, actually, to my dear friend and amazing flutist, who I get to work with often, and she's going to lead you through this fantastic program. So this is Liesel Deppe. Thanks.
When Clara Schumann wrote, "A woman must not desire to compose. Not one has been able to do it, and why should I expect to?" She can't possibly have known about her illustrious predecessors, who include the 12th century abbess Hildegard of Bingen, Francesca Caccini, the jewel of the Medicis, or Elizabeth Jacquet de la Guerre, France's first female opera composer. The feminist movement of the 1960s and 1970s was the driving force behind the emergence of a wide range of studies and theories focusing on the lives, positions, and contributions of women in society through the ages. As in other fields, scholars in music began to show an interest in the work of the half of the world's population that had been ignored in earlier studies of music history and development. Women's studies came to the fore even more slowly in music than in other fields. However, perhaps because it was still dominated by men schooled in traditional methodologies, feminist aesthetics and the application to music of interpretive strategies developed in psychology, literature, and other arts have yielded revelations and controversy. For example, why is a feminine quality in music only laudable if it's a man's? Is music by women excluded from study because it is deemed to be of inferior quality in comparison with music by men? Has society shaped the criteria for greatness in ways that keep women out? And then I'd like to pose a question. What, in the end, does it mean to be a woman in music? We're not answering that question tonight. Despite the lingering patterns of discrimination, the number of women composers has ballooned. Another 20th century phenomenon that has inspired better focus and greater interest lately in music is music outside the Euro-American tradition. The music studied by ethnomusicologists has become as important to good musical education as Bach, Beethoven, and Brahms. This concert is not tokenism. Rather, it is an opportunity to reflect on the contribution of women, the headway we have made, and the significant challenges which remain. I hope that you will enjoy the works we have chosen for you to hear this evening. First up, we have Evensong by the American composer Alex Shapiro. This was composed in 1999 as a commission by St. Bede's Episcopal Church in Mar Vista, California, as a modal and very melodic set of 6 short pieces, each 2 to 3 minutes in length. It was composed specifically for an Anglican evensong service. We are only playing 2 movements this evening. Phos Hilaron, which evokes a slow and quiet glow, mirroring the beauty of the last vesper light of a setting sun. It is an ancient hymn written in Koine Greek. The second movement we're doing is Ascendit Deus, which was written to encourage generous donations during the offertory for the Sunday after the Ascension, and to do so to the lines of music. So joining me are Trevor and Spencer and Anna. Our next piece is by Anna Zaidman, and she's here to introduce it.
How many of you like to travel? I love to travel. And whenever I feel nostalgic, I sit at the piano and music just pours out of my soul. Whilst in A minor, it's a tribute to Paris. When we play, imagine yourself sitting at the little cafe at Paris having a coffee and croissant.
Our program is sort of a balance of some very short pieces and some quite hefty ones. The next one is also fairly short. It's by the American composer Valerie Coleman, and I would suggest you to go check her out online. I've met her before at Flute World, which is a flute specialist store in Michigan. She's regarded by many as an iconic artist who continues to pave her own unique path as a composer. She was a Grammy-nominated flutist, and one of the highlights was in her career as being named as one of the top 35 women composers by the Washington Post. And she was also named Performance Today's 2020 Classical Woman of the Year. She's a former flutist of Imani Winds. She's also the creator and founder of this acclaimed ensemble, whose 24-year legacy is documented and featured in a dedicated exhibit at the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington, D.C. Umoja, Anthem for Unity, was chosen by Chamber Music America as one of the top 101 great American ensemble works and is now a staple of the woodwind literature. Umoja is the Swahili word for unity and is the first day of 7 in the African American celebration of Kwanzaa. The original composition calls for unity through the tradition of call and response and was first meant to be a simple family sing-along song for Kwanzaa. It was added to the wind quintet repertoire of Imani Winds, and it has become one of its signature pieces. The melody is mainly a French horn solo with supporting rhythms from the upper winds and the concert motor played by the bassoon. Our next piece is by Claude Arrieu, and if you're like me, you probably thought that Claude was a man. Louise Marie Simon adopted a gender neutral pseudonym, Claude Arrieu. Although she did not hide her use of this pen name, it smoothed the path for publication of her music and facilitated professional advancement. She also joined the French radio broadcasting program service, where she worked as a producer as well as in the sound effects department, which stimulated her interest in electronic music for a brief period of time. There's not much information available about her, especially not in English. However, twice in 1928 and 1929, she competed for the Prix de Rome. Both times, 2 females submitted their work, but the director of the conservatory would only allow 1 to proceed. So she did not enter the competition a 3rd time in the face of such bias. As an aside, she worked actively against German occupiers during the Second World War, who never suspected that French radio technicians were also working on a clandestine radio station preparing for the liberation of Paris. This piece dates from the 1950s, and there are 5 movements: fast, slow, and then fast again. So here is Claude Arrieu's Quintette in ut. Jennifer Higdon, the composer of Summer Shimmers, our next piece, is a self-taught flutist and turned composer. She's a Pulitzer Prize and 3 times Grammy winner. She has become a major figure in contemporary classical music, and her works represent a wide range of genres, from orchestral to chamber to wind ensemble, as well as vocal, choral, and opera. The League of American Orchestras reports that she is one of America's most frequently performed composers. This is a lovely piece. It conjures up several colors of summer. It's almost like a kaleidoscope of colors. What she wrote about Summer Shimmers is somewhat cryptic. When I was young, my brother and I used to go fishing at a beautiful quiet pond amongst fields. It was there that we discovered Summer Shimmers.
We will do the Arrieu now.
There's one more to go.
It was clearly Liesel time again. Or Liesel speed. Oh man. Planning ahead is overrated. That's what I was doing.
It was worth waiting for. It was worth waiting for.
5-minute intermission?
So go refresh yourself. I'm sorry, I didn't realize they were having a quick intermission, but we'll see you back here in about 15 minutes.
During the second half of the program, you will only hear one piece, but it's pretty large, and it's quite a big piece for the piano. So we would like to thank Anna for all the work she's put into that. The last piece, the Sextet by Louise Poulenc, is one that's sort of been played quite frequently in the last decade or so. She's without doubt France's first major female composer of the 19th century, and also was influential as a performer and professor at the Paris Conservatoire. She was born into a family of sculptors and studied piano with Moscheles and Hummel, and composition with the composer Anton Reicha before embarking on a professional career in both performing and composing. Her marriage to the flautist Aristide Poulenc opened many doors. They shared an interest in early music scholarship, and he founded the Editions Poulenc, resulting in the publication of her works. This particular work is modeled on Mozart's Quintette in E-flat, but it's the first known work for wind quintet and piano. It was initially well received, but then fell into neglect simply because of several possible reasons. These could include, she did not write opera, which was a necessary genre to work in to achieve public recognition at the time. The second point is she focused on instrumental music, for which it was difficult to obtain public performances, nor was her music considered to be pioneering. Her gender might have played a role as well. However, before falling into obscurity, her career was already well established by the time she wrote the Sextet. 10 years prior to its composition, she had been offered and accepted the post of professor of piano at the Paris Conservatory, a prestigious post indeed. Though her salary was barely half that of her male counterparts, she did argue successfully for parity after the premiere of her Nonet. The Nonet was composed shortly before the Sextet. This work dates from around 1851 and 1852, which predates Poulenc's more famous sextet by 90 years. The Poulenc is one that pretty much all wind players know. How good a composer was she? Robert Schumann, one of the leading musicians and critics of the age, said her piano variations on a Russian tune were so sure in outline, so logical in development, that one must fall under their charm, especially since a subtle aroma of romanticism hovers over them. So clearly, other composers of the time, such as Schumann, were aware of her. I hope you enjoy our final piece of the program.
We are so lucky to have such fantastic musicians in this community, and it is Fourth Wall's absolute pleasure to be able to create this platform featuring them tonight. So thank you so much to our musicians. Thank you guys for coming out in this beautiful theater, which is also the home of the Windsor Symphony. Upcoming events include a fantastic lineup from the Windsor Symphony Summer Concert Series you should check out. And on July 17th, Fourth Wall Music will wrap up our season with one more concert, Dark Sky Music, where we are collaborating with the Royal Astronomy Society, as well as IRCA, to present night-inspired music for cello, violin, harp, vibraphone, and clarinet. Here at the Capitol Theater at 2:30 on the 17th, and then again at the John R. Park Homestead at 7:30, where we will present the concert, followed by night stargazing with telescopes. So hope to see you back. Thanks again, and enjoy the evening, and I hope you all enjoy some summer shimmers also. Take care.